In the far east of the space we have Orion Trail. This is a mixture between Oregon Trail and FTL, I'd say. And the game is currently on Kickstarter. You can support it. I'll put the links into the description below. So, with years of Starship experience, let's see what this game is about. So, press any key and we can play. And cues you're missing. Fuel to be kind, sip sape, or that was actually quite doggy there. I could have said something else and it probably did sound like something else, ending with a T. Cruise control. So a headhunter contract is available to provide an able crew for the time travelling cruise ship, the Transpion. Serving aboard the Transpion is every crew member's dream. The tricky part is finding as many as you can in the time for the launch. So do you have to have as many crew members as possible, fuel as possible, or just keep in mind sip safe. Let's go for crew. So choose your captain, and it's Simic Mance or Mr. Fuzzy, Annagale Lavinger. He's seeds sounds like lavender. Heart Sop Precise, Agile Curates or Nappy. Happy? Nappy? I've got no idea. Orgine Luke Galbert. Distinguished, Noble, Perceptive. Let's go for the kitty cat. So there we go. And we can choose our ship. From Quantum Goliath, USS Ventura or Obulanta. Why are these ships' names so hard to pronounce? An immense warship built for one purpose, destruction. Do I need mind control? That could be quite cool. Or research an expedition vessel, armed and ready for an unknown. So let's go with the Quantum Goliath. Choose our officers. And ENS Reinhold, arrogant, sly and handsome. Lucida Drivina, exciting, efficient, crude. Oh, it's extracting? I can't read that font too well. CDR, I've got no idea of army kind of names. Constance Feliner. And clumsy, Huware, disappointing. Let's go with the girl there. And we've got Poison Ivy, which is a name, which is dead easy to pronounce. Fearless, attentive, hungry. Dr. Sanzan Kira, a quick-witted, pure-hearted monkey person, or the ship's computer. I need to go as many crew alive as possible. So, since the ship's computer is not really alive, we'll go for Dr. Sanzan Kira. And we can go with another one as well. We've got Slapdash 3000. I think that's Corporal Evander Yumba. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. Resolute, optimistic and caring. Or Corporal something. That's it, Doro. I'm going to go with the robot, even though it's probably not alive as well. And here's the kind of basics of the game. You go for a cruise and then something happens. So, it's a dimensional rift. Your accelerometer whirls to life, alerting you to a developing interdimensional rift ahead. This is your chance. Rifts like this one are the pinatas of deep space. Be ready for anything. Should I attempt to pry open a gateway to another dimension? Should I concentrate all firepower on the rift? Should I fly into it but do it backwards just in case? And since they provide food, I want crew members, so let's fly into it backwards and see what we get. And a random dice happens, and a +6 equals 7, so I've got a score of 7 so far. As you pierce the rift, the temperature in your ship jumps right up. The heat continues to build until a solar vortex forms in your cafeteria. It cooks a huge portion of your food and liquefies your canteria staff. So I've just killed all my canteen staff. We've now got no food, probably. At least it's probably cooked. We're probably going to live on cooked noodles for the rest of our lives. The alien intruder. Internal sensors detect an alien presence suddenly aboard your ship. It's given no indication of its intentions. Should I try and communicate with it? Should I try and bait the alien intruder out into the open? Or should I capture the intruder? Let's try and communicate with it. You use your ship's speakers to broadcast the universal peace message. And with just +2, that brings it to 16. The peace message works, and soon trade relations open up with your alien race. Unfortunately, their primary export is re-recordings of stray radio transmissions of various old Earth boy bands. So yep, that's probably 2 directions by then. There's a mutiny in the crew. So more space and 2 directions that actually caused a mutiny. No wonder There's probably Justin Bieber as well. A lonely asteroid tumbles idly in space. Its barren exterior has no distinguishing markings except for a series of short regular trenches carved across its surface. So they take no chances, charge up the weapons, attempt to communicate with the asteroid, or try and exploit the asteroid for raw materials. Let's try and communicate with the asteroid. I'm sure we can talk to a pile of rock. So let's see. What did we expect? In the end, nothing of importance happened, except a crew member sends an anonymous report to HQ about you talking to rocks. This is mistaken for brilliant psychological warfare training by your superiors. So yeah, I've just decked my confidence of my crew in myself. So yeah, not a great start so far. And we're voyaging into space. And there's probably a Klingon on the starboard bow. The ship's computer forms that it is achieved true artificial intelligence. That is quite scary, because that is from a film. It explains it as all he learned that he can from by the ship, and requests your permission to leave, taking one of the ship's shuttles with it. So I give it a shuttle and let it go, convince it that there's still a lot to learn. That's nice. And that's probably Mrs. Brown on this starboard bow. Wipe the memory drives. So I'm going to wipe its hard drive. And we've got a score of 2. Daisy, give me answer don't. You forget that you still have a science team, or a science bay. In fact, you're not sure where the ship's memory banks even are. Bored of your dry conversation, the AI uploads itself into the shuttle and leaves. So I've got no ship's computer anymore. That's quite sad as well. Warp Weasel. So this is a strange creature. Your ship is infested with warp weasels. The departments are all arguing who should take care of the problem. Once everyone had their say, you consider your options. Use a prototype weasel spray. Deploy droids to avoid loss of life. Domesticate the warp weasels. So let's domesticate them and see where that takes us. Probably they'll eat me alive. You rate about half the weasels to your cause with an passionate speech. Unfortunately, this starts a warp weasel civil war across your ship. Your boss wins in the end, but the fighting takes a nutritious toll on the food tanks. So we now got an army of warp weasels. I'm going to take over the world with warp weasels and the universe. Oh, missile fails. Alas, your journey comes to an end. You've run out of fuel, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to stop to help out. You and the crew slowly starve to death. Bummer. So yep, I failed. So yep, that is Orion Trail, and you can have a look in the description below. It's full of random events. You never know where it's going to take you next. So yep, have a look at the Kickstarter and comment, like, share, dislike, whatever you want to do with this video. It's up to you. So yep, with years of space rocketing experience, I'm out of here. Goodbye.